Today, we're not just listening to a song, we're stepping inside a story. We're going to break down the lyrics of NecroVeil's Crimson in Monochrome, looking at it as this really powerful, poetic journey through some profound grief. So let's dive in.
Okay, so this one line right here, this is everything. The whole story hangs on this idea. We're not talking about a literal death. We're talking about a completely different kind of erasure, a loss so absolute it makes you wonder what it even means to be alive anymore. And that's the mystery we're here to unpack.
So where do you even start a story like this? Well, the thing is, it begins after the end. The disaster has already happened, and we just find our characters standing there, in the quiet aftermath of a world that's just gone.
And let's be clear, this isn't just a sad breakup or losing one person. The lyrics paint a picture of total annihilation. Her entire reality, the very ground she stood on, has vanished. This is ground zero for her story.
Right now, in this first stage, she's just in shock. I mean, a taste of disbelief. You can almost feel that, can't you? It's that deep, profound numbness, that detachment, because the truth of what she's lost is just way too big to even begin to process. It's like she's a ghost in her own life.
So how does she possibly cope with that? Well, she can't. Not really. So instead, she builds this unfeeling exterior, a facade of stone to hide the absolute chaos that's raging inside of her.
Wow, what a chilling way to describe that defense mechanism. Eyes like graves. It suggests this total emptiness, like you're looking into something that isn't alive anymore. And her heart, her emotional core, is just sealed away in stone. It's the ultimate act of self-preservation.
And here you can really see that split, right? The massive gap between what the world sees and what's actually happening. On the outside, it's all silence, control, a cold voice. But underneath that paper-thin surface, she is just screaming. She's broken. She's lost everything. It's a silent war she's fighting completely on her own.
And this, for me, is the real tragedy of it all. She's aware that she's numb. A part of her actually remembers what it felt like to feel, and she longs for that girl she used to be, even a broken version of her. She actually misses the pain, because at least the pain was proof that she was alive.
But here's the thing, you can't just bury everything forever. And this brings us to a huge turning point, where the one thing she can't control, the raw, honest truth of her pain, starts to bleed through. And it's symbolized by one single, vivid color. Think about it. In this gray, numb, black and white existence that she's built for herself, crimson is the color of reality. It's this splash of life, of blood, of a suffering so real that she just can't paint over it. It is the truth, and it refuses to stay quiet. And the song just hammers this image home again and again. Her tears aren't just water, they're crimson, a physical sign of her internal wound. They're falling down a paper wall, which tells you just how fragile her defenses are. Her pain can just soak right through and expose the truth that her blood keeps writing.
Now, as this pain, this truth, starts to break through, the sheer weight of it all starts to have a new effect. It actually begins to erase her, dissolving her sense of who she is and turning her into something else entirely.
You can literally watch this happen in the lyrics. She starts with this memory of a solid self. I was real once. But then that self starts to slip away, she's fading out, until all that's left is an echo, the ghost of words unsaid, just haunted by everything she lost and never got to say.
And all this builds to her final, and honestly, most profound transformation. She's moved beyond just experiencing her grief. Now, her very identity is her grief. Just think about that for a second. She's no longer a person who is feeling pain. She has become the pain. Her entire being has been reshaped and remolded by her sorrow into something that's both tragic and, in a way, beautiful. She is a living piece of art drawn by suffering itself.
So at the end of the day, what does crimson in monochrome really mean? It's this whole concept right here, that even when we feel completely empty, totally numb, lost in a black and white world, that crimson mark of our pain is the one indelible proof of the life we lived and the love that we lost.
And that kind of leaves us with this one big, lingering question, doesn't it? When everything else fades away, our memories, who we are, the world we once knew, is that scar from our suffering, that crimson mark, the very last undeniable proof that we were real, that any of it mattered, something to think about.
Thanks for exploring this with me.